Hi, I'm Ariel Marie Bryce Rankin, CEO of CMPRadio.net and Cultivating Mature Positivity. CMP is looking to expand our family. Could that be you? We're looking for dedicated individuals with interest in hosting, co-hosting, conducting interviews, production assistance, and even participating in our up-and-coming drama series. Don't sit on the couch. Contact us at info@cmpradio.net or our Facebook page at cmpradio.net. Cultivate Mature Positivity is the station.
cmpradio.net is the station. Listen, man, let's cultivate together. Bring us all your show ideas. Content creators, we're looking for that. Videographers, we're looking for that. You can be a part of the next great big thing that takes place right here in Chester, Pennsylvania. Let's cultivate together, man.
Welcome to Chestorian's podcast, Sports in the Community. Tonight, we're sitting here with probably three of the most prominent youth sports coaches, directors, facilitators, mentors in the city of Chester. And I can't be more proud to sit up here and have a conversation and talk about, their programs, what they have done, what they have seen in the community, also the benefits of sports, the goal of sports, and just their outlook on how impactful sports have been to the youth that they serve. One of the things that we want to do here with the Chestorians is bridge that gap and allow our residents and our people in our community to understand how important certain things are. And I'm one that will say, sports helped me so much. Got me into college, took me around the world, but I'm going to allow these fine gentlemen that we have here, Mr. Charles Thompson, who's also a Chestorian, a conveyor for us, Mr. Coach Shake, and Coach Ralph Dorsey, Director Ralph Dorsey. He holds many hats and doing many things here in the city of Chester for us. So welcome, fellas, to talking sports in the community. Welcome. Coach Shake, you on mute.
Oh, my bad.
There you go, Charles. Thank you.
Okay.
Coach Dorsey, Coach Ralph. Oof. Can you hear me? Ralph, can you hear me?
You still muted, Roof? I don't know.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up, Brian.
Can you hear me, Ralph? Can you hear me, Ralph?
You're breaking up.
That's Charles too.
I can hear you clear. So
okay.
It might be you.
All right. So right now, I'm gonna talk about in the topic that I want each of y'all to expand on and talk about is just for people that don't know and don't understand, what is the benefit? Like, what's the benefit of sports? And if you could break that down for us.
You want us each to do it?
Yes, sir.
All right. Anybody got a preference? Who want to go first? I'll kick it off. I don't know if everybody knows Charles Thompson, Chester Panthers. I've been in the community, working in the community coaching for over 20 years, actually running the program for about 19 or 20 years. I believe sports in the community is very important. I saw a show earlier today on Chestorians where P and another gentleman was talking about how our households, a lot of the households in our community are broken. And I believe sports coaches play a big part in helping kids get that other balance of life. We mentoring, we're talking to them about life and decision making. All of us are, and we pushing them to be the best they are. And I believe that it helps give them a balance to some of the kids that might not have some of that in their households. They lean on us, they trust us, they talk to us, They confide in us. So I believe that I think the building factor is the biggest piece that we offer to communities, like especially like ones like Chester, PA.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. How about you, Ralph? Can you tell me the
Damn.
benefits? The
Damn, he
benefits.
damn near said everything. But anyway, I look at it as I look at youth sports as a way that we can get these kids together and learn social skills, and we learn more about the kids as they come in, and also about their families, and help them with certain things like that they might be going through in their life, and they can reach out to one of us or somebody that's connected to one of these programs and be able to talk to them about different things that they can't talk to their parents or even their peers or their teachers about. So we build a good bond with these kids, and they trust us because a lot of times we spend 8-9 hours with these kids on a Saturday and 8-9 hours with them on a Sunday, especially when we go to tournaments. They go into places where they've never got a chance to see before and never will ever go that route again. Definitely. So and these kids they talk about it for the rest of their lives. And we just got to keep moving forward and try to connect with the right organizations and the right people that's on the same path that we on to keep our programs continuing to move.
I love some of the things that you just spoke about, Ralph. Just about having our the benefits, and we're going to go to Coach Shake also because I know he's going to talk about the benefits and what he's going to do tomorrow. But the benefits, I know at the age of 49, I still talk about going down to Abbeville, Louisiana, for All-Stars for Chester Biddy. I still talk about it to this day. So you're absolutely right. That was probably one of the first times I've ever been on a plane. And to be able to do that because of sports was just unbelievable and astounding. So you definitely hit on that and even being mentors. And we're going to talk a little bit about that also. Coach Shake, what about you? The benefit that you believe with sports?
It's the same thing with me. The only time I travel as a youth and as an adult is during sports. That's the only time I travel. Like, but and it's the same thing. Like, what I teach is unemployed kids, uncoachable athletes make unemployed adults. So we have to teach discipline. We have to teach self-control. It's all types of things. And to be honest, like this is the sad part about this, us as mentors is that a lot of these kids don't have father figures. It's more moms than dads in this youth sports in this area. So we replace that. Like I know Charles and I know Raouf do a lot for the kids. Like, I mean, like we not just coaches, we psychologists, we therapists, we dads, we moms, like we everything. So that is very, very important to have your kids, especially when the father not in their life, to have them in these programs. I know the Panthers, I know the Cougars, I know the Hurricanes and Biddy. I know because I've been with all them organizations. I know everything they do for these kids. So it's very, 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 very important. And a lot of them learn their discipline from here. Like we got a couple kids, like I don't want to spell no names out, but Coach Charles dealt with him and I dealt with him on the Cheetahs, and he was a snap out artist when things don't go his way. He's going to nationals. He ain't snap out yet this year. He got way better. And when he leave me, he go to the Panthers. When he leave the Panthers, he come here. So it works hand in hand. Like, and that's why all the coaches got to work together, because track helps football. Football helps basketball. Basketball helps track. It's everything is one.
That's awesome. That is awesome too, Coach Shake. Coach Shake, you hit some of the points that I wanted to touch on about the benefits, and you hit about self-discipline. I know because I've been part of every last one of y'all, and I've seen y'all. It's discipline in the things that you do, and we talking to the parents. We talking to the parents that are on the fence right now about their kids playing youth sports. We also talking to the parents that their kids may be 13 or 14, because we know that's the age that they start to want to do their own thing and sit there and say, "Oh, I don't like it no more. I don't want to do that." But you're talking discipline. You're talking confidence. You're talking, health. You're talking friendships. I know every last one of my close friends I had when I was in sports. Every last one of them. So we're going to talk about that right now. The discipline. Do you guys at any point have any type of code of conduct, discipline? Like, how do we go about that? What do you like? Talk to a parent. Like, if your parent is a first-time parent coming into your program.
Well,
Charles,
you got it.
No, go ahead, Shake. I don't want
All right, so
Shake.
the first thing I do when I meet a new parent is I tell them, I'm dad and mom at the track. Don't come and interfere here, and I don't come interfere in the home. That's the first thing I establish, because when it's a lot of things. So we got a code of conduct. School come first. That's number one. Without school, you cannot participate for the Chiefs. That's number one. And what's funny is it's a lot of parents that actually when the kid's doing something in school, I'm allowed to go up to the school. So I teach that from the rip. Like, school is very, very, very important. So that's what I established from the rip. Like I'm actually like a parent at Trek. So a lot of the parents trust me when they come there, because I let them stay the first couple of days to see how we run it. And then after that, no parents get interrupted, because a lot of kids, like we have some kids that come, they act like babies when they're around their parents. So it's harder to teach them. It's harder to teach them when the parents come. So that's how I do it.
That's
I'm
awesome.
Mom and dad at the track.
That's good. Coach Ralph, we talking about code of conduct, discipline, how they do it in your programs, because we want to talk to parents that don't know. And so the parents that may come to your program, may come to the Panthers, may come to Chester Cheetahs, how would you explain to them? They ask you about that.
Well, first of all, I'll give them a little bit of the history on Chester Bitty League. Some may already know, some might be new to the area, and I break it down to them and tell them, some of the things that we do at Bitty League, and we encourage the parents to be there for their kids, and we don't want them to act out, but we expect them to speak up when the time called for it and treat people the way they want to be treated, and that's how I like to live my life. Is treat people the way I want to be treated. I'm not going to be disrespectful to you and expect you to come to me as a nice person, and we're both grown. So, I just try my best to let them know that we here not only for their kids, we here for them too, and we welcome anybody that want to come into this league with open arms.
That's good.
And one more thing to add. Another thing, what I want to tell the parents is our number one goal is for here. Like, I'm gonna tell you about this year. Our number one goal is not to make it to the pros. It's to get that free money, the free college money. Now we got 5 kids that's going to college this year for free. We about to have a little press conference for them to tell everybody where they signed at. I'm talking full ride. They don't have to come out of pocket. That's the goal. That's the goal of the program, to get these kids into college for free education. Because every kid can't make it to the pros. But it's all about that free education.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And we're going to touch on education also, but that's so important. Coach Charles, how about you and your Panthers? Discipline.
So
I know you got the hills down there, Memorial Park. I know that's form of discipline.
I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back to code of conduct, because when you register, our registration is on the website. When you go to register, there's a box that you have to check that you read that has our code of conduct right in there. So we expect our players, our coaches, and our fans and parents to act in a certain manner. And it's key because, one, we outside, right? We outside, so almost anybody can come. And it gets exciting, it gets controversial, but no matter what, bad call, bad play, whatever, we don't encourage any heckling or anything of us, the refs, or anything. So that code of conduct explains most of those things. So when they register, it's on there. They have to check it in initial that they read it, and then if they didn't and they just checked it, then somewhere along the line we'll step in and enforce our codes of conduct. Now, as far as the players, I'm on forward with Oof and Shake said, especially when it comes down to the education, we're no books, no ball program also. So we encourage the kids to not only act right on the field in front of us, but you got to act right in the classrooms too. I've been to a couple of these schools. I've been in a couple of these schools a few times for a couple kids. Sometimes I'm able to reach them and break them. Sometimes it's not. And something that Raul said that just kind of piggybacking in my mind, like we don't always know. The teachers don't always know what all these kids are going through, right? The teachers don't go to these kids' homes. The teachers never took them home from practice or picked them up or just have an idea of what's going on. Some of these teachers don't even see the parents. Never. So, having a good relationship with some of the climate control people in the school district, some of the principals, it'll allow you, we all got clearances, so it'll allow you to really come in and kind of advocate for that kid. That's why we're here, because we pushing the advocacy for the kids of our community, try to keep them and make them better people, better citizens, and things of that nature.
So that leads me into, and we didn't talk about this, but I think we should. And I'm going to ask each and every last one of y'all. So, and I'll go back, and we're going to go right back into Snake. So we go right back to Charles with this. How many kids you normally house in your program? Have in your program?
Was going back to me?
Yeah, it's back to you.
It's back to me. So, okay, last 2019 season, we had 206 football players. We had 36 or 37 flag players, and I don't know how many cheerleaders, maybe 70 or 80. And
so you're touching over 400 kids.
Yeah, I count. You do the math better than me.
So you're touching over 400 kids, right?
Yeah,
so that Panthers program. So if you touching over 400, I'll go. Coach Shake, what about you?
We in between about 50, 70. And that right now though is like because of the pandemic. So I stayed like personally because it was the pandemic. So and outdoor we probably be back to around 50.
Okay.
50 kids. And at
the age what about
4 to 18.
Okay.
Yeah, your age is 4 to 18. What about your ages, Coach Charles?
4 to 14.
4 to 14. So last but not least, Raul.
The age groups we go by is 4 to 13, and we're looking at taking it up to a 14 and 15 division because we miss a lot of kids that would have been graduating this year. And then we know that Chester High didn't have no freshman basketball season. So we're looking at getting something started, to look at the football schedule and and the try schedule and try to work something out. We would for 3 or 4 weeks once we get back in the gyms. But
how many kids?
We got about 350 to 400 kids when we look at the basketball players, the little 4 and 5-year-olds that come to clinics, and also the cheerleaders.
So right now, and let's just say, Charles, you have about 400, Ralph 400, Coach Shake about 70. I know some of them play multiple sports and they go back and forth. So I'm gonna say about 600 kids. About 600 kids get touched by a positive role model. Right? In our city. Because one of the things that we often hear in our city is nothing for kids to do.
Right.
It's nothing for kids to do. It's nothing out here. Now, mind you, we're not talking about the soccer programs. We're not talking about the other football programs. We're not talking about even the baseball program, the Jackie Robinson League program. So we have certain things for parents to understand that in our city, we have outlets and things to do. Ralph, I know your program is Chester Biddy and you go in the winter, but do you sometimes, what are you doing in the summertime? Is it available in the summertime? Like you doing workouts? How is that?
Well, it got a little tricky on us now with the things that's going on in the community. A lot of us don't want to have our kids out at the parks, and that became a big problem about 10 years ago. We used to have the leagues down at 7th Street, and I guess, if you ride through there, there's nowhere to play at. It looks a mess down there. But so we try to work things out and do traveling teams, and do little things in the neighborhoods and try to keep the kids involved whether they playing basketball or just out there running laps or just out there messing around. So we try to do things, including go to other programs. We refer other programs that some of us might be involved in. So we just try to keep the kids, as long as we can and as much as we can.
Right, and that's awesome because we got Charles with the fall, Ralph Dorsey with the winter, Coach Shake I know got spring, and I know he got winter also.
It's all year round, track all year
and
round.
Summer, right, and summer and fall. So we have these outlets for our youth. I understand it, and please, by no means, and I'm saying that every child in the city of Chester is an athlete, but I want parents to understand how important youth sports is and what it builds, and the things that it has done. But so tell me, what are some of the life lessons? And maybe you can talk about some of your favorite players, some of your players that have gone through some things that, life lessons that have helped you, helped the program, and just a good story that people need to know about or hear about.
All right,
yes, Charles, you're smiling.
I got a story, and I think Charles, you know this kid. It's Jaleel Clayton. They called him Tiger. He played football for the Panthers. So he was one of my athletes. So he was cutting up in school. His senior year, he didn't get in no college. So he actually had to go to Delaware Community College, but he still had another year in AAU. So he did the AAU year with me while he was in the community college. He ended up going to Penn State at Harrisburg. He graduated as an accountant, and now he's back helping me. But this is the kicker. So what I taught him, he went to college. He learned more on the hurdles. He came back. I trust him with my freshman. My freshman went from 33 in the state to number, and because you seen him coaching. He went from 33 in the state to number 11 as a freshman. And that's all, and that's what it's all about. You go and you come back. And I always tell them, y'all don't owe me nothing. The only thing I want y'all to do is come back and teach what y'all learn. And he's my prime example of everything that I want. And
say his name again, Coach. Say his name. Jaleel Clayton. You're absolutely right. Great young man, great family, great young man. Awesome story. Coach Charles?
Don't let Raouf go.
All right, go ahead.
Well, I know a lot of situations that I can relate to, but I'm gonna get a little personal and talk about my own experiences with my kids.
Okay.
With my son, he's 26 now, and my son Rashawn, good kid, always, sure he was mischievous at times, but he actually saw one of his friends get killed one day, and that prompted him. How they have little meetings and stuff. When something happened to one of their homeboys, and the guys in the neighborhood getting in and meet and talk about what they're going to do. So I guess he had a little too much heart to decide that he wanted to go and get the gun since he had turned 21. And he talked to me about it, and I told him what I felt. So I didn't have nothing to do with it. And I told him that, but he wanted to get the guns, and he actually had a friend of his take him up there, just like when you're going to get a new car or you're going somewhere and you don't know, you're going to take somebody with experience with you. So he got with one of his homeboys, and he took him up there, and they ran the tags and found out that the guy was a convicted felon. But to make a long story short, my son got convicted of a felony this first time ever being in a cop car, and he's sitting in jail right now for 5 years, and he regrets it every day. But he understands more about life that, I couldn't tell him. So this is something he had to learn for himself. And I got many different stories, some positive and a lot of negative stuff to talk about the kids that I know not only came from our program, but came from these other programs in the community.
Okay. All right. Charles. Life lesson. Kid.
One kid. So, all right. So it's funny because he popped in my mind just now. I talk to him all the time. Was a kid in our program that first of all, he had to get persuaded. His parents had to his mom had to get persuaded to let him play. and that was a feat in itself. And she let him play. And at first he wasn't when he first started the best athlete. But one thing he always was he always worked hard. You know what I'm saying? And he had a vision that when he was, I guess, I don't know how old he was. He was young. He might have been 5, 6, 7, or 8, somewhere in that realm. He had a vision that, you know, he wanted to graduate college and he wanted to go to the NFL. So, you know, that was his goal. That was his vision when he was in single digit ages as a kid. So he played through my program. He played through high school and had an awesome high school career. And he ended up going to Westchester University. Then he went to Westchester University and he reached adversity again because he got an injury that should have ended his career, right? But he bounced back from that, finished his senior year, and you know him and I'm talking about Ronell Williams. Him and my cousin Anthony. I experienced my first pro day ever. They invited me to come up to their pro day, and it was just an experience. It was something that I never saw before. I mean, it was just a bunch of athletes in a room, and you know, it wasn't as crowded at first. And all of a sudden, you started seeing these representations from the NFL. Blew my mind. It was probably 18 or 19 NFL teams in there at this particular pro day. So he didn't make it to the pros. He had workouts with Washington Redskins, and he ended up coaching football. Ended up coaching at Widener, then he went to Temple. And now he's coaching with the Chicago Bears. And I talk to Ronell all the time. I talk to him. We bounce ideas off each other. Ronell's big. He's big about the community. He's big about establishing something to come back and bring his presence back to the community. But that's really one of the first people that popped in my mind because I really just talked to him yesterday. He called me on my way to taking my sons to practice. And I was like, right now, coming through my car, I said, right now, lay something on these kids, man. I had my 2 sons and another kid in my car taking them to football practice. And I said, lay something on them. And it was just like, it was moment. He just called me. I told him, lay something on him. And he spoke from the heart, you know what I'm saying, about not giving up, about setting your goals. I mean, working on your craft every day, not just outworking somebody on the sports, don't just put your work ethic in the sports. Make sure your work ethic is in everything you do at home, around your house, and your schoolwork, because that's when it becomes you. If you only do it on the field, it's not going to be the real you. And he really talked to me when he said that. You know what I'm saying? He was really talking to me. He don't even know it. So if I was to just throw a story out there, that's just so current, and it's why it's so fresh in my mind. But Ronell Williams is a person that came to my mind, so I figured I'd just share that.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And I believe Ronell might have touched all of our sports. I know he played basketball.
I was just about to say that on the combine when he was trained. I the one trained him for his 40. He came to me to training for that. He definitely came to me. I remember all of this that you're talking about.
And you know it's crazy. I coached Ronell along with me, also coaching Rashawn, and I think it was probably I coached Ronell, and he was our 5'9", 5'10" center his senior year at Chester High School. At Chester High School, he's our 5'9", 5'10" senior. And it was funny. I had a funny story about Ronell. Like you stated, Charles, he always worked hard. And we were playing one time, and he was just joking around, and he wasn't taking it as serious. He was hard, but he wasn't taking it serious. And I said, Ronell, who your favorite player in football? And he was like, Ray Lewis. I said, okay. Do you know that Ray Lewis, although he made it to the pros and this and that, he was an all-state wrestler? Because he told me like basketball is my second sport. So I was like, and he wasn't really giving it like his all. I was like, your second sport could be basketball, but you still can be dominant in basketball because idol Ray Lewis was dominant in wrestling, but he was a star in football. So,
Right.
and it was funny that you just talked about that, but that is an amazing young man, amazing things. And that's one of the things that, like right now, we're talking, and I'm glad I got you guys on here, but we're talking to, I really want to talk to the residents, the parents, the moms, the dads, just about getting your kids involved. I know we can go on for days and days. I can even talk about it, how it kept me off the streets, how it kept me out of trouble, how it kept me, you know, dealing with the things I had to deal with in the homes, whether it was, you know, two parents divorcing or splitting up, and whether it was my mom passing away at the age of 17, and then a week later me playing a football game, because that kept me, you know, my mind right and everything right, because the football was my area of solace, and I was able to
Can y'all hear me?
um
I can't hear nobody.
yeah, we can
We
hear
hear
you.
you.
So I also want
My
to talk
phone lost
about,
sound. I don't
and I
know if y'all
also
can
want
hear
to,
me or
and
not.
we
My
can
phone lost sound.
get ready to wrap it up, but I also want to talk about education. I know Coach Shake talked about education.
I can't
I know
hear you.
education is, I want to talk about two things. One is education, and two, the range of kids that you can hear, that you can deal with. I know some parents may say, my kid is hard-headed, my kid is lazy, my kid is this or that. What do you say to those parents that,
Yeah, go get in the
what
door.
do you say to those parents that may have those
You went already?
excuses, or my kids don't have the right grades? What do you say? Coach Charles?
If lazy, push them out there. You know, I saw my nephew quit youth football almost every week, and my sister made him get back out there. You know what I'm saying? And he ended up playing high school football. You know what I mean? And just if he wasn't pushed back as a youth, or he was allowed to make a choice, kids got too many choices out here. That's number one. If he was allowed to make a choice, he probably wouldn't have never got back into sports. As far as education, if your kid is struggling, right, and you can't go to the school to get some help, then you got to find some other resources. I will help find resources for anybody who can't need help. I will call some people that I know, some tutors, but we all need to link up. Link up with some programs. Like Jelani had an awesome program. You know what I mean? He had an awesome program.
College Access Center.
College Access, right? And I was upset to see it leave, because they were really preparing these kids for the SATs, ACTs.
Correct.
So, we need that back in our community, because matter of fact, the kids are taking SATs this weekend, right? We need that back in our communities, because the kids need to understand how to take that test. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They need to practice on it too. They need to take it 10th, 11th, 12th grade if they have aspirations to go on to college or not, or picking up a trade or something. But scholastically, it's important. It's important to be educated and know how to do something. Everybody is not going to go to college, and that's fine. That's fine. I mean, a lot of people have gone to trade schools and opened up successful businesses. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big fan of entrepreneurship. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't sit in a box for 40 hours. I just can't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But get some help, reach out. Don't let it feel like a disease or ailment if your kid's not learning. I have a son with an IEP, and what he's just from paying attention to it from grade school to middle school, he's mainstream now. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's mainstream because we didn't ignore it. We addressed it, and we advocated for him. And so all these kids need advocates. Need to have someone to advocate for them. Your kid not doing in school, there's a lot of people out here. Nicole Cogdell comes to mind first. You know what I'm saying? She actually advocated for my child. So, get some help. Don't try to do it on your own. Don't ignore it. If you're going to the school and you're not getting the response of the school, then there's some other pieces that, there's some other resources out there. We just need to find them and, discover them so that we can make them known.
So education is a big part of your program.
Absolutely.
Your coaches and everything. Okay, great. I think, and the reason why I say that, because I think people need to hear that. You know what I mean? Like they may say it, but we, like you said, no books, no ball. And that's a great thing. And also, you stated, and I want people to understand that you stated that your son and that had an IEP. So your program deals with that, like works with the parent and works with that. And I want to say Chester Biddy does the same thing, Coach Rao.
No, we does it a little different. We pretty much let the parents come to, if they come to us and tell us their kids having a problem at school, we might see them acting up at the games, or sometimes the teacher might be at the gym. So, we talk to the parents. We don't just ask the kids to see their report cards or anything like that. We pretty much let the parent let us know where we need to help them at, and we'll refer them to different programs. I might have to call Charles up. I might have to call Adora up. Or I might have to call you up, Brian, and say, look, I got this kid who needs some help in getting educated. He's having a problem in classroom. Point me in the right direction. And every time that a kid need help, I got somebody to call on that to help me out with some of the things I don't know.
Okay. All right. Cool. That's cool. Coach Shay, I know you're on mute right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So we was just talking about, like, I want the parents and everybody to know that you don't turn kids away, right?
No,
you
not
deal
at all.
with what you deal with our community has and have dealt with our community has, and how important education is.
Listen, that's like I said, that's number one. And the reason why education is so important, excuse the mask, I'm in a public store. The reason why education is so important, because like I said, we just had I got a kid just like Jaleel. His sister is a senior with me now, Giant Clayton, and she just came from an interview with Jackson State University, full ride. So she ain't even decide which one she gonna go to. She still got to go to Buffalo on March 16th. But the reason that is so important, because I have another senior that just got a full ride, and it was 50 grades and 50 on sports. So that's why it's important. Her grades was so high that majority of her academics covered her scholarship. So, and that's the point of why we say school is very, very, very important, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, getting into college. And another thing that we miss when we talk about the reason for all the traveling is to show them that it's something outside of Chester. They have to see outside of Chester so they can aim for something. If they just here just running around the A field, it won't work. We travel so they can see that it's more than just Chester, and that's very, very, very important to them kids.
So when you speak about that, do you have any? And I know you're in a public place right now and you have your mask on, but at this time, I also want you to talk about what you're doing for tomorrow. What's going on with your program?
Okay, so tomorrow we actually leaving to go down Virginia Beach for the AAU Nationals. We taking 18 kids. The youngest is 5. We got a couple 5-year-olds, and we got a lot of high schoolers in there. It's like middle age. Charles, your boy made it. Daryl was going tomorrow.
I know he was talking about.
Daryl's going tomorrow. So we going down. We gonna be down there from Thursday to Sunday, and we competing. We competing with everybody in this country right now.
So that's awesome. So your program is taking 18 kids down to Virginia Beach tomorrow for AAU Nationals. And I know myself, and I know some other people in the community that may want to bless you. How can we bless you and the kids monetarily? Because at these times, I know it's kind of rough, but how can we bless you monetarily by going down there? What can we do?
Well, if y'all want to help the kids out, y'all can donate. We do got a cash app. The Cheetah cash app, I can't know offhand. My cash app is Shake Allen. Everything goes towards the kids. Everything that'll help them out a lot. I mean, like I said, we going down. We got a couple sweets. I'm actually at the grocery store now buying food for them because we got a little refrigerator and stuff to save money. So if they want to help out, they can hit us up on the cash app.
So your cash app is $ Shake Allen, $Shake Allen.
Yes.
And that's SHAKE ALLEN.
Yep.
Okay.
Can we put it on the screen, Brian?
Yeah, let's see if we can put that on the screen.
Yeah, I'm going to send
to help them and support them.
And and it's also live on Flow Sport. if you go to Flow Sport, they actually streaming the track meet live, so you can watch the whole track meet. I don't know if they charge y'all or not. If they do, y'all gotta let me know, and then I will post everything on Facebook.
Flow Sports.
Yeah, it's called Flow Sports.
Now, Coach, you say your program is year round.
Yes.
Coach Ralph, when you starting up again?
Well, we're looking at doing something in September, and maybe get a little something started in September, and with the registration and have some clinics and stuff, and then get back into our season probably like in November or December.
So, Coach Ralph, I'm going to ask you, and please remind me, Charles, or anybody. I want you back on the show to promote Chester Biddy. Although I know Chester Biddy been around for over 50 years, it's still good to bring you back on to promote that, because I think it's very important that the kids get involved with that. Coach
We
Charles.
want to do that.
Okay, cool. Coach Charles, what's going on with your program?
Man, we have spring football right now. Right now, we have spring football. We have spring football right now. We're taking we're doing 7, 9, and 11, 7, 9, 11, and 13 youth. We're trying to get about 30 kids to do flag football. We're going to run a 5-week session. Our practices start March 15th. So we'll be down the park next week. We'll probably do 2 full weeks, or maybe Monday through Thursday, and then break down to 3 days a week. Not sure what those days are. We got to also keep in mind that there's going to probably be some construction going on real soon, because Brian put a bid in for us to get lights at the park this year to have night games. So we'll be staggering practices to make sure that everybody has enough space. But right now we have a spring football, and anybody from any program can come. I don't care where. I mean, we don't care where they come from, period. But anybody looking to come and get some rec, like I said, it's spring ball. The rules for spring football is not as intense as regular football. It's no kickoffs. But the website is www.chesterpanthers.com. So if you're looking, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
If you're looking to register your child for flag or tackle football this year, please come to the website. We start next week.
Say it again. The website.
The website is www.chesterpanthers.com.
Cool. And Coach Shea, does your Cash App come up as Jamal?
Yes.
Okay. His Cash App comes up as Jamal. So please bless them and everything. With that being said, I want to thank you guys for being a part of it. I want to thank you guys for coming on. We're talking sports in the city, sports in our town. It's very huge right now. We're talking to the parents. Please, please, please get your kids involved. Please get your kids involved, whether it's Chester Panthers, whether it's Chester Biddy, whether it's Chester Cheetahs, whether it is the Hurricanes, whether it's the Cougars, whether it is going over to the Boys and Girls Club of Chester, and you're doing that, and they're just playing rec league. Whether it is, I don't know, Ralph, I don't know if Coach Ham still have Proverbs. Does he still have Proverbs?
I don't believe so.
Okay, so maybe that's not, but I know Chat has a league. Rondé Hollis Jefferson and Chat, they had a league going on. If you wanted to go there, we want your kids just to be involved. Please, the coaches are mentors. We didn't get to that part of the mentorship and the coaches. But coaches, if you want to come out and be a part of it and be a mentor, look for one of these guys. Please hit them up. They need it. I know, Charles, you need coaches?
Yo, definitely, especially for flag. We need flag. We need flag and tackle coaches.
Coach Ralph, you need coaches?
Well, we really need mentors, more importantly, and they can serve as a coach, but we want to be mentors first before they come in here and try to, coach a kid. So we actually looking at September to have a program on that too, on teaching guys how to be mentors and also teaching the kids social skills and some of the things that we missed out, like our banquet and things like that. But as far as coaches, we can always use a few good men.
Thank you. Because you hit on and Coach Shake. Do you need any coaches?
Yeah, I mean it's the same thing. I mean it's like it's hard coaching track, but you can come and like I did with Coach J and learn under it. So it's the same with Ralph, the mentors, and then they become coaches. It's the same exact thing.
Coach
And
Ralph,
he hit it right on the nose.
I was gonna say, Coach Ralph, you hit it right on the nose because I grew up where we didn't have quote unquote mentors, like one-on-ones each one. We had coaches that were mentors, and they did the mentoring as coaches while they were speaking to their wife, they were speaking to their girlfriend, whether they're speaking to their husband or speaking to their boyfriend. They was our mentors in our community, and I think you're so important. Before you want to be a coach, look at yourself, be a mentor. Be a mentor to those kids because you got in basketball, you got 10 to 12 kids looking at you and looking at you for guidance. In football, you may have 22 to 23. In track, I know you got the whole team. So you got 18, maybe 50 kids looking at you. And you being that mentor is so important. The way you live, what you do, and how you talk is so important. So I thank you guys for coming on, being a part of it. We're going to look to be doing this, talking about sports, talking about our community once a month on the podcast. We are representing Chestorians, and what Chestorians is doing is rebuilding the community. That's all we're trying to do. Rebuilding the community. We're trying to connect our parents to proper resources so they know to help the kids, because we all about the youth and we all about trying to make it right. So these are three gentlemen that's here that have done it for years. I know Charles been in it for years. I know Ralph been in it for years. I know Coach Shake has been in it for years. So I mean, parents, if you're looking for somebody and if you're looking for a place to bring your kid, please reach out to them, let them know. And if your kid is on the fence and need a mentor, pick up a sport. Pick up a sport. They get friendships, they get self-discipline, self-confidence, they get a healthy body, because every last one of these guys and every last one of their programs, kids run, they compete, their brain is being moved and doing things, there's stress in education. So please do that. All right, those were my parting words. If you guys have any parting words, you can. If not, we say peace and God bless everybody.
Back show.
Charles, if you want to stay on, we can.
No, we good. We at the hour.
Okay. All right, cool. Thank you.
All right, man. Thanks, Oof. Thanks, Shake. Hey,
Thank you.
Hold up,
I'm a phone call away.
I want to thank these dudes, right? Getting on in and honestly, 30 minutes notice when I finally got through to both, man. So I appreciate y'all really making yourself available on such a short notice to make this thing happen. And for real, if we all can do this in the community, I'm gonna just stop right there. If we all could do this in the community, just come together for the common cause, right? We'll all win. We'll just leave it at that. Thanks, Big. Thanks for having us.
Yo, no problem. Be blessed, y'all. Shake. Let's win something, Shake.
Let's shake, man. Go down there and rest.
Let's win something. Let's compete and have fun.
Can y'all hear me?
All right. Yep, hear you.
Thank you behind the scenes. Thank you, Miss Leslie. Thank you, P. Thank you, guys. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.